Dear students, how are you all? Stay home and stay safe. Okay, in the previous video on computer and its historical development, we saw about history of computing, generations of computers and characteristics of computers. So in this video, we are going to see about types of computers, software and
Dear
hardware
students, how are
into
you all?
output
Hope you all
and
are staying
storage
home and
devices.
staying safe.
Okay, if you didn't watch
Today
the
we are
previous
going to
video,
see
please watch it and
basics
come
of
back
word
here.
basics.
Okay, so we will see
Okay,
the
so
first
now
types
let's see
of
the
computers
components of
first
my
over here.
desktop. See the components here. We have office button with access toolbar, title bar, and some of the tabs. And the tabs you have some of
Types
the
of
rooms.
computers. So there are different types of computers. So all these computers are called as personal computers. So why they are called as personal computers? Because it is used by a single user at a time. There are different types of personal computers are explained below now. Okay. So the first one is what? Desktop computers. So you would have seen desktop computers. It is designed to fit in our workstation. Okay, it has a monitor, keyboard, mouse, CPU, everything separately. It is designed to fit on a workstation. It comes in various sizes, shapes and ranges. Okay, so it ranges differ from the hardware components connected with it. Okay, next one is what? Notebook and laptop computer. So you would have heard this laptop already, heard about this laptop. So it is like a computer which can be fit in your lap. A notebook computer is almost the size of a large notebook. So nowadays, notebook computer is also meant as a laptop computer. So these can be carried from one place to another. Why? Because these are lightweight. Okay, these computers are very light in weight and works with long lasting batteries. Okay, we can carry it anywhere. That's why we call them as mobile computers. Next one is tablet computer. A tablet computer or simply a tablet is a one piece computer. It is also called as ultra mobile PC. PC means what? Personal computer. They often come with touchscreen devices which you can use with your finger or an electronic stylus pen. So what ink it uses then? It uses digital ink, not like your pen. It uses a normal ink, but your stylus pen uses the digital ink. Next comes smartphones. So it can be thought of a handheld computer. We can say smartphone as a handheld computer combined with the mobile phone. Okay, it does mobile phones work also, and also some of the more works like creating documents, watching videos, taking pictures using the camera, play music and do a lot more. So nowadays we are using internet, we are doing everything on internet using the smartphone itself, right? Next comes, so now you all understood what is different types of computers. Okay, now let's see what is software and hardware. You should have heard this words software and hardware already. So what does the software means? What is the difference between the software and hardware? Why it is called as software and hardware? Software is a group of instructions that you give to the computer to make it work. So as you all know, computer works only as per your instructions. Okay, so these instructions are given through software. What is then hardware then? Hardware is a physical machine that you can see and touch. Okay, so those things, software you cannot see and touch. So, but hardware, these are the physical components which you can see and touch. Next one is what? Let's see what is software in detail. Okay, so computers works as per your instructions. A group of instructions is called a program. So a group of program which performs a specific task is called software. Okay, so what is basically a group of program which performs a specific task is called software, which cannot be touched. Okay, we can only see the software, but we cannot touch the software. Okay, so next it is virtual. Virtual means what? It is there, but it cannot be touched. Okay, it can be classified into three categories. What are they? System software, application software and utility software. Okay, so let's see what is this subsystem, how it is segregated, how it is categorized. First one is system software. It is a group of programs designed to control the overall operations of a computer system. So which will control your overall operations of your computer? An operating system. Okay, so without operating system your computer will not work. An operating system is an example of a system software. Okay, so there are various example for operating system. Presently we are using Microsoft Windows. It has various versions. So there are many other operating systems are also available. So in our school, what we are using? We are using Ubuntu. Ubuntu is Linux software, Unix software. So why we are using that? Because this Windows operating system is virus prone. It will get affected by virus easily. But this Ubuntu will not get affected by virus. So there is my iOS, Macintosh, Android. In mobile phones, smartphones, we all have Android operating system. Okay, it is also one of the operating system. So in Apple iPads, we have Apple operating system, Macintosh operating system. Okay, next one is what? Application software. It is a group of programs designed to perform a specific task. So these are the programs designed to perform a specific task. For example, you see word processors. What is the word processor we are using? Microsoft Word, WordPad, Notepad. These are all word processors. Then inventory management software, school timetable software, payroll software. All these are used for the specific purpose. Okay, these are all owned by the companies. Okay, these are all application softwares. Next comes utility programs. Which is mean by utility programs then? So which will help your computer to be safe, your data to be saved. Okay, it will help you to save your data and save your computer from virus. So it performs routine but required jobs in a computer system, which makes your life easier. What is the example? Antivirus software and backup software. What is this antivirus software? You all know. So it will save your computer from virus attack, computer virus attack. Okay, it will ask you if you download something. It will tell you, yeah, this file may be harmful to your computer. It will update your computer when you use internet. Backup software. What does mean backup? Okay, if you're having so much of data in your computer, so you have this backup software will take the backup of this data, and whenever if there is any problem with your computer got crashed, your hard disk got crashed, your data will get lost. So that time you can take your backup from the backup software. So these two are called as utility programs. So what we saw, first one is application system software. What is the example is? Operating system. Second one is application software. These programs are designed to perform a specific task. It can be anything. It can be school management software, timetable management software, library management software, payroll software, inventory management software, all these things. Next one is utility programs, which will save your computer. Okay, which will save your data, antivirus and backup software. Next one is hardware. Okay, so as I already told you, all the physical parts of your computer which you can see and touch are called hardware of the computer. So these devices are also called as peripheral devices. What are the examples of this hardwares? CPU, monitor, mouse, modem, CD, pen drive, whatever it is. All the devices which you can touch are all hardware. Okay, so next we'll come to input, output and storage devices. So what is this input? What is this output and storage? You must be knowing how the computer works based on your input. When you give the input, what will happen? It will go and store in the memory, because you are giving so much of input at a time. Okay, everything will go in a memory and get stored one by one. It is processed by the computer, which will process processing device. Which is the processing device? CPU. It contains the chip. Already I told you about the chip in generations of computers. That is the microprocessor. So it will process your input and it will be given as the output. Okay, after getting the output, your file need to be stored somewhere. Where it will be stored? In the storage devices. So keep this in mind and we'll proceed now. Okay, so what is this? What does this input, output and storage devices do? It provides a means of communication between the computer and its user. Okay, so next see what is input devices first in detail. It is used to enter or input data and information into a computer. So what are the commonly used input devices which will give inputs? You know, keyboard, mouse, scanner or common input devices. Some of the not so common input devices are, we are going to see them in detail because already you would have learned about keyboard, mouse, scanner and all, right. So now let's see some of the not so common input devices here. So they are drawing or graphic tablet, joystick, touchscreen, barcode scanner and webcam. Okay, let's see one by one in detail now. Drawing or graphic tablet. What is this? It is similar to a whiteboard. or any board which you use to write. It is a just digital whiteboard. Okay, except that you use a special pen called stylus. Okay, stylus pen will be used to write on it. It uses digital ink to write it. So it will be connected to your computer. By moving the stylus on the tablet, you can draw on the screen of the monitor and save it on your computer. You can draw or you can write whatever you wanted, you can do it. It will be saved in your computer. Next one is what? That is also called as input device. Now joystick. It is also an input device. You would have seen this. You would have used this to play games in your through your computer. It is used to move the cursor and select different items on the computer screen. Okay, it is a control device that consists of handheld stick which pivots around one end. It is commonly used for playing computer games. Okay, so next one is touch screen. So nowadays we are using touch screen in many devices, tablets, smartphones, even laptops, in smartphones, sorry, smart boards. So we can use this touch screen. A touch screen is a computer screen that can touch with your finger to enter information. So not only in smartphone, tablets, in projector, we can use this touch. We use this touch screen in many other machines also, like microwave oven, ATM machine, in washing machines, cars. So we would have used this touch screen, right, children? Okay. So you must have used this touch screens on a smartphone, smart board, microwave, or an ATM machine also. Next one is barcode scanner. You would have seen this barcode scanner in many places outside. When you go for a shop or any bookshop, library, when you buy products for billing, what they will do, they'll scan the barcodes. What do you mean by this barcodes? It's that series of lines which printed with numbers, which shows the amount of the particular product at the time of the billing. What it will do, it scans a little label that has a barcode on it. The information then saved or displayed on the computer. Right. Next one is what? Webcam. You would have also used this. So it is a low resolution video camera which is used to provide a visual input. Okay, this will provide visual input. It is used for video conferencing. You would have used this to do video conferencing with your friend, with your family, right? So next one is output devices. So what are the input devices we saw? That is one of the not so common input devices. They are drawing or graphic tablet, joystick. What else we saw? Touchscreen, barcode scanner, and webcam. So what are the commonly used input devices we saw? Keyboard, mouse, and scanner. Next comes output devices. We see this in detail. They are used to get information out of the computer. If you give input to the computer, some information to the computer, they are input devices. So when you get out information of the computer, they are called output devices through those devices. So the most common output devices are monitor or screen. Okay, that will be like if your monitor is in desktop, laptop, everything has a monitor or screen, right? Only through that you can see the output. So they are most commonly used output devices. So let us see some of the most commonly used output devices over here. Monitor, where else you will get the output? Printer, you will get the printed output. Speakers, you will get the sound through speakers. Even headphones, you will get the sound. Okay, so let's see one by one in detail. Now comes monitor. So monitor, they are also called as visual display unit or VDU. Is the screen on which words, numbers, and graphics can be seen. Okay, most monitors are differentiated on the basis of the color and their capability to display quality graphics. Okay, we have so many different types of monitors. Okay, that's we will see in your higher classes. You will learn in detail. Okay, now you know what is monitor, what is its work. That's all. Next one is printer. So what is an? It is also an output device that creates a hard copy of an electronic document onto the paper. When it is in your computer screen, they are all called soft copy. When you take the printout, when you take anything on the paper, they are all called hard copy. Okay, commonly used printers are inkjet and laser printers. Okay, so it differs in terms of technology, speed, cost, and quality of printing. Okay, so the technology differs in each printer. Next one is speakers. It gives you audio output from your computer. Some speakers are present inside the computer and some are attached externally. So if you see laptop, everything is everything is in the single machine only. We have CD drive, we have USB ports, we have speakers, we have webcams, everything on attached inside only. So same way, whichever attached inside, they are all a speaker, internal speakers. So if you attach externally, they are external devices, external speakers. Next, headphone. It also gives audio output from computer. So what is the difference between speaker and headphones? So it functions like a speaker, but it can be heard by only one person. Only one person can hear the output at a time without disturbing anybody else around you. Next is storage devices. Now you all know what is input devices and output devices. What are the difference between these two, right? So now let's see storage devices. Storage devices or memory is a physical device which is used to store data, information and instructions to be processed by the computer. Okay, so what are they? Let's see one by one. Types of memories. There are different types of memories here. RAM, ROM. So under ROM we have so many categories. First we will see what is RAM, what is ROM. What is the difference between these two? RAM is a random access memory. It is volatile. Why we call it as volatile? Because its contents will be lost when your device is powered off. Okay, it will get erased when you switch off the computer. It allows reading as well as writing. Okay, so next one is ROM, read-only memory. It is non-volatile. Its contents are retained even when the device is powered off. It allows only reading. That's why we call it as read-only memory. Okay, there are different types of ROM. What are they? Let's see. PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. PROM is what? Programmable read-only memory. It is also non-volatile. All the three are non-volatile and can be written only once using special equipment. Read-only memory is only readable, but this PROM we can write only once. EPROM, that is erasable programmable read-only memory. It is also non-volatile and once programmed it can be erased by exposing it to strong ultraviolet light source. It can be erased but by strong ultraviolet light source. Next, EEPROM, that is electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. It is user modifiable read-only memory. Okay, so that can be erased and reprogrammed repeatedly through the application of higher than normal electrical voltage. Now we understood what is RAM, what is ROM, what is PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. Okay, next one is hierarchy of memory. This is memory unit table we will see. Okay, so how this memory is stored, how these are categorized, what is this memory units? Let's see. First one is 1 bit. So bit means what? One binary. What computer understands? Computer can understand only 0 and 1. It cannot understand more than that. So what happens? Whatever language we speak, whatever language we use, it will be converted to binary language to or machine language to the computer. Only that it will understand. Okay, there will be inverter, some interpreter. So if somebody doesn't know the language, there will be interpreter to interpret, right? The same way somebody has some interpreter has to interpret computer to understand and to convert our language to machine language. So it will understand only 0 1 1. 0 means off, 1 means on. 0 means no, 1 means yes. Yes or no, on or off, true or false. Okay, so 1 bit is either 1 or 0. A binary digit is called as 1 bit. Then 1 byte. Next memory unit is byte. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Okay, so now 1 kilobyte. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes or 2 power 10 bytes. 1 megabyte then. So next unit is 1 megabyte. 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobytes or 2 power 20 bytes. After kilobytes, after megabytes, 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte means what? 1 GB. You would have heard this GB, MB and all, no? GB, gigabyte is GB. 1 GB is equal to 1024 MB, that is megabytes or 2 power 30 bytes. Next is 1 terabyte. After gigabyte, terabyte. 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabytes or GB. 1 TB, terabyte is TB. So these are the till terabyte you all know now. So now we have some more memory units also after terabyte. Okay, so what is that petabyte? 1 petabyte is equal to 1024 TB, PB is equal to TB, like that. So 1 exabyte, that is EB, is equal to 1 petabytes, so 1024 petabytes or 2 power 60 bytes. Next, after exabyte, zettabyte. 1 zettabyte is equal to 1024 exabytes. And then yottabyte. 1 yottabyte is equal to 1024 zettabytes. So now you would have got an idea about memory unit table, how your computer works. Now let's see what is this external storage devices. As you all know, the processing of the computer, the input will be given, the input will be, all the inputs will be stored on the memory. From memory it will be processed, then it will be given as the output. From output all your files are stored in the storage devices. Okay, so where it will be stored in your computer, you have internal storage device in your computer. What is that? It is a hard disk which is present inside your computer. Okay, so all your files will be stored inside your computer. What are the external storage devices? So it is required to overcome the limited storage capacity of your computer. So what are the external, what are the things you can carry anywhere, which devices you can copy from your computer and carry anywhere? CD or a DVD or any Blu-ray disc, pen drive, hard disk, and we had one more device called floppy disk, okay, which can store very less data. It was used before 10 to 15 years back. Okay, now presently we are not using it. Okay, we have so many external storage devices like this. So let's see what are the storage of these storage devices. Okay, one is, see, first one is what? Hard disk, I said. Okay, nowadays we have 500 GB, 1 TB hard disk also. Okay, so now here it is given 2 GB or more, but nowadays we have 1 TB, 500 GB hard disk also. Next, CD can store 700 to 800 MB data. DVD can store 4.38 GB to 8.5 GB of data. Pen drive 1 GB or more. Nowadays we have, so 164 GB, 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, then 64 GB, 128 GB pen drive is also available right now. So next comes Blu-ray disc. It can store up to 25 GB on a single layer disc and 50 GB on a dual layer disc. Okay, children, hope you would have clear with this all this concept. Okay, so now our chapter is getting ended over here. So what we learned in this chapter, you would have got an idea of computer and its history. Okay, what is generations, what are the characteristics of computer, what are the types of computers, what is software and hardware, what are this input devices, output devices, and storage devices. Hope you are clear with this. Thank you. We'll meet in the next video next time. Okay, thank you, children. Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. Staying home, staying safe.